We are back one more time. All right, so today's topic is, what is your favorite part about aging? Look this way.
You didn't say this.
No point. Oh, okay, perfect. This is the Brandon and Miyoshi show. I thought you were pointing at me like I was the old one, and
but that was kind of it too.
I wasn't here for that. Okay.
I think you should kick it off with age. Follow your leadership and your wisdom.
I'm so annoyed. All right, so here we go. I brought this up because I think that a lot of times, like, aging is seen as like a negative thing, and it's just kind of like, it's not really, in terms of like everything about it. I think that it's just kind of it's different, and it's like unknown. So it's like, what is it? For me, I think my favorite part of aging is just more insight, more perspective. Like, there are so many things that I was doing wrong that at the time I was unaware they were wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, I think my favorite part of aging is like being able to apologize for stuff.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I'd be like randomly like hitting people like, yo, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if this still bothers you, but my bad about XYZ. And it's just like this cool process where it's like, at the time I didn't really see it as wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or I didn't see how it could have been. I wasn't able to see other people's perspective on stuff. Like, mm-hmm. How you could have seen this. Mm. Or your side of it. I think when you're young, you're kind of living your life. For me, at least. Mm. And although I've always been like super considerate, yeah. I just didn't have the perspective to be like, oh no, that wasn't good. You know what I mean? That wasn't right. And sure, it may not have been like some like egregious or like some wild, like obviously flag on the play, stop, whistle type of thing. But there's just stuff that just, the subtlety wasn't there. You know what I mean? And for me, that's kind of been like the coolest part of aging, is just kind of being a better person.
No, that's very delightful. That was very freeing. It's interesting to hear that, but you're also still in like your 30s space, because when I talk to like people that are way older than you are, because you're still a young man, they don't give a damn. Like they get to this period where they're like, I said what I said, I did what I did, you're gonna take it. And it's just like, oh, that's beautiful to see that,
Oh my God.
When you get into that you're not even middle age, you're still so young.
Right. I can't wait to get to the
I don't want to see you. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be his friend.
I am so considerate to other people. It almost pains me how much I consider others. And I can't wait to get to that stage. Or I said what I said, mother. You heard me. You heard me now. Go on and get the damn coffee.
I feel like BT's already there, okay? Oh, but he's very considerate. But for me, like, aging, I would just be like, the choice to live for you, in a sense that you really have capabilities. You really have a space in this world now. When you're a kid, it's kind of like, oh, I'm just trying to figure it out. And even though I'm still in that phase, I have so much cool direction based on the wisdom I've gained along the way.
Totally.
And then on top of that, you have like, the idea that the world is so big, but I can also travel. Mm-hmm. Like, I can literally go from California and live in Italy and be okay. Like, when I was younger, it's like that really wasn't an option.
Right.
But now that I'm older, it's like, oh, I can do this, and I'm comfortable. I know that I'm responsible. I've learned stuff. So I'm still in that phase. I'm not that old, y'all. Let me be honest. But I think my neck. I'm not that old. I'm still. You see how hip I look right now. I made sure to wear this cool, love the work, the long text shirt. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm shouting out the long text.
You see the vibes.
You see them. But no, I'm still young. Like, I'm still hip. But at the end of the day, just being able to be in control of your life. Mm-hmm. And also what you were just saying, like perspectives and things that you gained. But aging is cool. I don't understand, because older women, when they lie about their age, I just don't get it. Getting older and what comes with being 50 is now she is above 50. But she used to tell people that she was 50. I was like, why you over there lying?
Right.
So people could just tell you, like, black don't crack. Like, that's what like she wanted to compliment. No, but
yo, that's funny.
I never understood that, why like women would lie about their age. And
well, guess what? You're gonna find out. You know what I mean? And
you think I'm gonna lie about my age?
I don't think you're gonna lie about your age, but I think you're gonna get to the age where people lie, and you're gonna understand why, and you're gonna have to make that decision whether you do or you don't.
That's true.
I am old enough to know that.
No. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
I would say, like, now that you're you know, a little more wise.
Right.
I don't like calling people old. Now that you've increased
early 30s,
you've increased in wisdom.
Yeah.
Like, when you talk about new perspectives, specifically, what are your perspective on family versus what your perspective was back when you were like in your early 20s? Now you're in your early 30s. Like, you should soon be like family, like wife and kids and stuff like that. Like, did that shift?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
And here's why. My like line of work hasn't changed, you know, and it's very like specific, and it's like it is one of those things where you're just kind of like chasing it. So those kinds of things are second, or like 1A career, 1B family, and stuff like that. So and sometimes they don't always coincide. Sometimes you make them work, you know what I mean? But that's like a decision for each person that's chasing a dream as to how to blend the two and how to make them work. Definitely possible, but you just kind of have to have a, you know, idea as to how you want to run it. So for me, it hasn't exactly changed much. Do you feel like at your age that's changing for you yet?
In a sense, yeah. Like, when I was younger, for sure, it was like, not like, you couldn't tell me, oh yeah, I'm gonna have kids. I was like, I'm not gonna have kids. Why would I want those things? Right. You know, like, absolutely not. But as I get older, I'm thinking more of foundational. Like, when I meet that person, what I'm going to, you know, do, what are we gonna like grow into, and then once we get older, like, are we gonna have like a legacy behind us? I was not thinking, oh, let me, you know, have kids so that they can take care of me and also increase the legacy of who I am, who my man or my partner, whatever, I want to be inclusive, partner is. I really wasn't thinking like that, but now that I get older, I see first off, I see the blessing in the family structure even more, and the importance of us having that connection and bond with another person, and then creating new life in order to sustain what we've accomplished. Because I believe that I'm going to accomplish a lot of things, and with my partner, I think we're going to build on, you know, a lot of things. You so fake. Absolutely. You a hater. Like, BT is just I don't know if that's like a, I feel you.
That was
or,
deep.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. You are going to be.
Accomplish many things. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, I do. And I would, I see the benefit in being able to share that with someone. But back then, it's just like, oh, you're going to have kids? Absolutely not. Like, it was a definite no.
Wow.
And I still lean more towards the no. But I now see the beauty in the family structure.
That when you say that, that's kind of interesting. For me, I always thought I was gonna have kids.
That's beautiful.
But as I get older, I'm like, I've definitely had the thought of, what would life be like with no kids? You know what I mean? Like, when I see like my like friends like getting babysitters and like making life decisions based on children, I'm like, well, do I need them? Or is this just like a cool, like, something to do? You know, it's like a really hot accessory. Is it like a Louis Vuitton phone case, or is it like for real? You know what I mean? So for me, I think it's interesting to even have those thoughts. Whereas I still would love children, I still have thought, do I need them? You know, so super interesting.
But just that perspective, you increased in your age and wisdom to even get to that place. Yeah. Because, I never wanted kids.
It's crazy. What is the scariest part of aging for you?
The scariest part of aging is someone No, you know what? I actually had it happen, and I'm just gonna share it.
Oh.
I got a notice from the IRS.
Oh.
That I was like, I thought I never would have to go through that, right. and having to like really learn franchise tax board and taxes and your past incomes and gross and like all this stuff. That stuff freaking scares me. But now that I've had the conversation. Mm-hmm. I did my step by step. I did my play by play. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Stack him up.
And I was talking to that representative, and they were just like telling me what they cannot do. And I said, well, if you can't do this, you need to do this. And by the end of that, hour and like 30-minute conversation,
light hour, light 30,
plus being on hold for like 2-3 hours trying to get a representative.
Easy work.
I got what I wanted, and I think I was able to get what I wanted and decrease the number in which that they said that I owed and why.
Said that you
said like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? I did my homework.
Did it?
You know, but that wisdom of creating that play by play and also having conversations with older people that may have went through similar things or they understand it and being willing to listen. Because, you know, when you're younger, it's just like, I know what I'm doing. I got this all figured out. And it's just like, no, you really don't. You don't, because you don't know what type of beast you're about to
and you fight. Never will. That's the part.
Yeah, like, and now it's like, I feel like I can be a vessel for somebody else that wants to talk how to deal with the IRS, because it's scary. It is like, if it comes that way.
Absolutely.
But also, they basically came back to me and just told me that I made too much money in a certain year and like, oh, we actually didn't take enough.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No,
don't come back later. Don't come back 2-3 years later talking about we actually want. So that was like the scariest thing that I could imagine having a conversation with an entity that large. But I also impressed myself how I took care of it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I think the scariest part of aging for me is like life is really your responsibility. Like your life is like your life, and I mean this in the most positive way possible, is your fault.
I like the way.
Yeah. What? like it might not go exactly how you wrote it up, but what happens is your fault. Like all of it. So you mean to tell me y'all jokers just gonna give me a life to live and to do, and I gotta figure, you know what I mean? And it's like, sure, you do it every day, whether you're paying attention or not, but it's just kind of like the trajectory, like how high it can go, how low it can go, how in the middle it can stay is your fault. What?
Like I get that, and I think that's the freedom that we have is to live our lives just as we see fit.
Yeah.
But that's why I also have this sense of like spirituality connection, that everything is not just on me. Like I can always take it to the higher power, not to get all religious or whatever on you, but I am what I am.
Yeah.
And I believe that I'm a child of the Most High, and that I can take anything and lay it at the throne, and that He will be there alongside of me, you know, to get it done. So I'm never by myself, and it's never just on me.
Right.
So I think with that type of mentality, and you finding some type of connection that you don't feel like that, then the weight of the world won't seem like it's so heavy.
Totally. But with that, one of the principles of that is free will.
Free will, yeah.
And
better have some discipline.
Yeah, but that's the part that's your fault too. You know what I mean? It's not a negative thing, and I don't think anybody is necessarily alone in the idea. But it's just like, yo, like, go be the president,
which is possible.
You know,
it's so
or go be a scientist, or go open the studio that does XYZ, like all that stuff you can do. You can, and then it allows you to impress yourself when you get it done. That's the beauty. Like, it's on me. Yeah. It's all me. Right. I'm supposed to do it. But like I said, when I made that call, scared, shaking in my boots. Right. But at the end, when I was able to sit back, I was like, wow, Miyoshi, you did that. Totally. So. But I think, see, and I think this is where it gets tricky, right? Is the parts that are highlighted. So get the letter to make the call. Wow, I did that. Have the idea to be the president, to being the president. Wow, I did that. That ain't the part.
It's the journey.
The part is in
the middle.
The part is how
section.
long it took you to make the call. The part is the backflips that your stomach hit before you dialed the number.
No,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? Or the time from understanding the number to paying the number. The time from starting the business to if the business makes it, to how far the business makes it. Those are the parts that need the fortifying. Everything else, look at me, I made it.
But you go, I made it, and you celebrate that win because you understand every step of the way what you felt along that journey.
Totally.
And that's why I really like, and I'm not like trying to really plug the long text, but that hashtag trust life. Like, I really think that is something people need to do. Trust life, live your life, and understand that, yes, there will be hurdles, there will be obstacles. You will find some roadblocks, but at the end of the day, if you want it, you have everything in you. You are well equipped in order to reach that level of success.
That's a fact.
It's 100% fact. And so I love looking back at my journey, and I love sharing my story of how I got to the hoorah, how I got to that celebratory stage, because it might help somebody else.
Hopefully.
I really do. Even if you don't want to hear it and somebody share your story, you think about it later down the line, you're like, oh dang, BT told me when he was doing X, Y, and Z, he did this, and X, all these other things came, all these elements and factors, but he still made it out. So let me try to, maybe let me incorporate that into my step 2.
Totally.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So listen, I use me at the end of the day. If you need to hear some advice, I'm willing to share it. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to tell my journey. And when you ask people for advice, be ready to listen. Don't sit there and try to argue why they think the way they think and all these things.
I'm gonna stop you. If you giving somebody some advice and they start talking back to you, you stop talking to them. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You at advice giving level 101. You need to take the advanced class. You need to take the capstone. If you move into advice giving 303, which I teach Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the humanities building, that's room 207. I'm telling you, when you start giving advice and somebody is combating said advice and or commenting back on said advice, they're not in a place to receive said advice. So what you need to do is stop wasting your goods. Don't waste your pearls on the swine. If you hear me, then you hear me. Don't do it. And delete. Hit them with the you got it.
You did.
Oh, that's crazy. Bad. And get up out of there. This has been another episode.
Very generous.
Another episode.
Very general response.
Of Brandon and Miyoshi. We'll see you guys.